Quick story time. For a little context, my name is Nathan, and one of the businesses that I own is a digital marketing agency called Arcane Marketing, as you can see in my logo, my jacket here that I wear in some of my videos. I have been in the digital marketing space for 20 years this year, and that's significant because I don't know too many other people that are still around in the industry who have been around longer than I have, and I've got to meet a great number of many of the legends. And it's funny that you've been in digital marketing for 3 years and people say, oh, you must know so much. And I don't know where that qualifies me. And I feel like maybe I'm an OG in the industry. With that said, there was something really funny that happened on my very first day in digital marketing. I had two buddies who wanted to start an agency, and they asked me if I'd come and help be in business development. I've been in retail sales a lot in my history. The job that I was in prior to doing digital marketing was actually in jewelry. I was a jeweler, so I got a little bit of jewelry knowledge. Anyhow, the very first day, I remember we rented an office and we were officially forming this new agency, not Arcane Marketing, a different one. And my buddy asked me to come in, and so there was just three of us there. We walked in the office and sat down, and man, I was excited because every other job that I've been at selling anything, there's features and benefits and financing terms and all these different kinds of tools that help to sell and make people get excited and possible to buy whatever product there is that I was selling. Anyhow, and he looked at me square in the eyes and he goes, Nate, I'm really excited that you're here, ready to get started, kick this off. And what I really need from you is for you to go find us some clients. And I'm thinking, yes, I want to talk to clients. I want people to hire us. This is great. Wow, how exciting. And I looked back at him and I said, so how do you want me to do that? And I remember that he kind of tapped his chin and he looked away for about 2 or 3 seconds, looked me back square in the eye, and he goes, figure it out. And instantly I felt lost. I didn't know what to do. I thought, what did I get myself into? I know I was in a career that I was comfortable with, and now I'm not. So at that moment, I decided to become a true student of the game. And I started doing research, started watching YouTube videos. YouTube was it was a little different back then, but people had made some videos. I read a ton of blog posts and followed certain other influencers just so that I could get to learn what is SEO, what is paid ads. Social media didn't exist then, to be honest. And like what's involved in web design? What is WordPress? These are all questions I had. Customers had these questions. In fact, when I would get on the phone with them, they would often say, hey, yeah, online marketing, what is this SEOs? And we'd explain, well, it's search engine optimization. And they'd say, oh, well, what's that? How does that work? And I remember our conversations were constantly around what is SEO instead of people knowing what it was and just asking for help getting it. But I tell you this story because I am often invited to teach classes at universities. I give speaking engagements, and I've even been invited to many, many podcasts. And there's always this story that pops up. And so I thought I'd just explain it here quickly, give you some context, get to know me just a little bit better. But from the day I started going, how do you want me to do this? And he says, figure it out, to today, 20 years later, where my agency will turn 11 here shortly. We have 15 or 16 employees, and we're a force to be reckoned with. There are not too many people who are as passionate about digital marketing as I am. So I guess just an invitation, if you ever have any questions and you just want a real conversation without sales hype or any obligations about how you can do better with digital marketing, I promise you that I have the answer, and I can tell you specifically what is or isn't working really well for you.